Hey, Upper Saucon Township. I'm here in Center Valley, and I wanted to take a few minutes to discuss a house that I recently sold in Weyhill Estates. For this particular transaction, I represented the buyer, and I wanted to discuss what it took in order for my buyer's offer to be accepted. Now, a lot of buyers wonder because they've been seeing multiple offer situations all the time. If you're in the market looking for a house, I'm sure you've been seeing it. Especially in this area, anything that is launched correctly is typically seeing multiple offers pretty quickly, usually within the first week or two, maybe the first 30 days. So for this particular house, it was new to the market. It wasn't on very long. My buyer wanted to put an offer in. There were multiple offers on the property, and I helped them craft the offer that was ultimately accepted. And we closed on the house this month. So now if you're a buyer, you're probably wondering, well, if I find a house that I really, really love, how do I get my offer accepted? And the answer is that there's not a set formula. As a realtor, it's my job to actually analyze the deal on a case-by-case basis and walk you through the process and help you tailor an offer specific to that property. It's going to look different on every property. It's not going to be one set thing. There's not one set thing that pushes you over the edge. It's not always just the price. A lot of buyers really get hung up on the price. And of course, the price is a really important factor, and we don't want to discount that. But there are so many other factors to consider as well. So when a seller looks at your offer, they're not only going to look at the price. They're going to look at the price, and then they're going to look at all of the other terms of the offer. And there are a lot of them. And obviously, I would, as a realtor, I walk my clients through that and we discuss everything. And they're going to take the overall picture into account and compare that with the overall picture of every other offer they receive. So it's not just going to be the price, but like I said, this is going to look different on every single house. Every seller has different needs. Every seller is looking for, some sellers are looking for a quick transaction. They need to just sell and be done. Other sellers are not in a rush. They're just looking for the best possible price, the best possible terms. It also depends who you're competing against, which obviously you're not going to know who you're competing against, but we sort of have to scope out the whole entire situation and work together to put an offer in. The other thing that's really important to take into account is you need to be open and receptive to taking advice from your real estate agent. As hopefully they know what they're talking about. I've worked with buyers where sometimes, it's natural to be a little hesitant on certain things sometimes. And you have to really be open to taking their advice, because sometimes it's not uncommon for a buyer to not take your advice and have to lose out on several bids before they start listening to you. But my job is to help you avoid that, because if you find the house you really like, I want to help you win that house. The other mistake that buyers make a lot is not moving on a house when they find the one that they really love. Now, I'm not saying that you should just jump on any house. If you walk into a house and you're not really sure it's the right fit for you, don't jump on it, because the last thing you want to do is buy a house and then regret it afterwards. I don't want that for you. You don't want that for yourself. But I'm talking about when you walk into a house and you've been looking for houses and you walk into one and you love it, and it just feels like it's your home. And even if it's maybe not perfect, maybe there's some things you want to change, but it feels like home, because it's really not about a checklist. It's not about checking off boxes. It's about the feeling you get when you walk in the door. And if you've bought a house recently, you probably understand that. It sounds sort of counterintuitive, but it's really the truth. Sometimes the right house for you doesn't even meet a lot of your boxes on your checklist. So if you get that feeling and you know that this is the house for you, don't wait on it. A lot of buyers will wait. They'll say, oh, well, I need to think about it. And of course you want to think about it, because it's a huge purchase. It's possibly one of the largest or the largest purchase you'll ever make in your life. But if I'm talking about when you really find the right house, you have got to move on it. You've got to get your offer in. You've got to let me help you, or your agent help you craft the winning offer. Obviously, sometimes, it depends what position you're in. Sometimes you might not just be able to compete with another offer. Maybe someone has a cash offer and you're getting a mortgage, for example. Oftentimes the cash offer is the one that will end up getting accepted for a variety of different reasons, which I always discuss with my clients. But don't wait on the house. If you really find the right house, you got to move on it. And so on this particular transaction, my buyers, we talked about it. We crafted the winning offer. They took my advice. Everything went smoothly. Luckily, their offer was accepted, and now we closed on the house, and they have the house that they love. So if you're buying currently, or if you're thinking about buying, there's really a lot to consider. The other thing is, don't just automatically assume that you aren't qualified to buy a house. There are so many different loan programs and so many different things out there. Give me a call or give your agent a call. Review your situation. You might be surprised that you might actually be able to buy a house, even if you think that you can't. So that's another important factor to consider. But I just wanted to quickly discuss this, and there's a lot more to talk about, but I briefly wanted to just go into a little bit of detail of what you should expect in multiple offer situations.